Hello everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in to this video where I plan to divulge some more information that I've kind of accumulated over the past few days about my missing guitars that I talked about in my latest episode of Everything You Love, number 20. Make sure you go and check that one out if you haven't already, and so you can get caught up with everything and maybe even check out some of the other episodes of Everything You Love while you're at it too. Link in the description. But in that video, I talked about these missing guitars and some guitars that I had recently acquired from our Chimera's European backline from way back in the day. And just a special thanks to everyone who's reached out and showed concern about that in helping me, wanting to help me get these guitars back, and everybody who's offered to help in any way they can, from Germany, Norway, Belgium, the UK, I mean, all over the world, obviously dudes in America too, and these guitars could be anywhere, so the more eyes and ears that are out there, the better. And here, yeah, I've just put together just some distinguishing features about the guitars I've noticed, so we can kind of help pick them out if you see somebody playing them, because they're the prototypes that I'm missing are pretty similar to the RA600s, although the prototypes are unique and special because they are one of a kind, and that's why they're so important to me and why I'm looking forward to getting them back. So I've just got some new information here and some things for you guys to look out for if you're interested in helping out in this whole thing here. But really, I think it's going to come down to three scenarios, three ways that this whole thing could pan out over time here. The first being that nothing happens, that just nothing comes of this, and that's okay. I don't know what I expect from all of this. I certainly have hopes to get my prototype back. Big Boy, we'll learn more about him in a second. But yeah, just I hope to get him back, and if I don't, I never expected to get Little Boy back either, the other prototype I recently reacquired. So, that's certainly possible, but if I don't put this message out here, if I don't ask people to help out with the hunt, they'll never turn up, so at least this is better than nothing. Second scenario, I think, is that word gets around, or somebody pipes up that they have it, or they know somebody that has it, or they've seen it around, or we're able to locate it, and the person that has it sympathizes with my situation. Somehow we're able to get in touch, and we can work something out that's mutually beneficial to the both of us, so that I can get my guitar back and they don't just lose out on a guitar. Scenario 3, which is possible too, is that somebody who has a guitar is watching this now and doesn't want to give it back, or somehow they get word that we're looking for it and they get scared and tuck it deeper under their bed because they either don't want to give it up or they're afraid there's going to be some sort of repercussion or something like that, which there certainly won't be. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not pointing any fingers like I've said in the past. It is what it is. I just kind of like to know what happened. Even if I never got it back, it just feel good to know what happened to it and stuff, because if I don't, I'll always be wondering, and it's just kind of a bummer. I think it's crazy that we're even here right now talking about this, because few months ago, earlier in the year, I never thought for a second that I was ever going to see these guitars again. But as I described in Everything You Love 20, I've gotten 3 of the 5 back that I have had over in Europe. There's still 2 over there. One I don't ever expect to see again, and the other one I hope to see again. So anyways, let's get into some stuff that I put together here, and I'll show you guys where we're at. Okay, so what we're looking at here are the 5 guitars that I had over in Europe as part of Chimera's European backline. First one here is just a RA600 production model, which many of you have seen before. A lot of you have, which is awesome. And, they were available to purchase in stores from, 2008 to 2012, something like that. I had 2 of those over there. One of them I got back. The other one I did not get back, and I never expect to see it again because it doesn't have any distinguishable features. It's the same as all the other RA600s out there, and I don't know the serial number, so it just could be out there in the mix, and I really don't ever expect to see that again. The third one is the M1000, which was my bus guitar. That was my warm-up and practicing guitar over there, and I got that one back. That's a beauty there. And then the next one, Little Boy, is one of the prototypes there, and you saw me show that off in Everything You Love 20 there. And so part of these prototypes are, I believe that both of them, the 2 that I had there, prototype 1 and 2, Little Boy and Big Boy, they both don't have binding. I'll explain more about that in a moment. That's like a liner around the body, like a cream or pearl color, and they also have a see-through finish where the RA600s have like a jet black finish. You can't see the wood grain through them. It's like a perfect gloss black. The prototypes just have like a see-through black stain so you can see the wood grain through there. Also, Little Boy has the smaller kind of cursive LTD logo, where Big Boy has the bigger block LTD logo on the headstock, just like the other RA600s. So I never got Big Boy back, and he's the one that's out there right now. And let's take a look now at some things that I think may help us pick him out of the crowd if you were to see him somewhere out there in a jam space, in a pawn shop, in somebody's garage, cased up somewhere in the back of a venue, or whatever. First, I'd like to say that the last time I saw any of these guitars was in 2010, March 24th to be exact. Camaro was on tour with Trivium, Whitechapel, and Rise to Remain. We were doing this UK tour over there, and March 24th, 2010, we were in Bristol, UK. I can picture it. I can picture being out by the bus, and after the show, all the gear being loaded out of the venue. Instead of going back into the trailer for the next gig, it was going into trucks to be taken back to Captured Live, which is the warehouse and rental facility where we kept all our gear. So as far as I know, all that gear was getting loaded onto that truck and heading back that way to go be put back into Camara's storage locker. Of course, I didn't really pay too much attention because that's happened on tours many times over the years, and everything's gone well. I don't know if the guitars ever made it back to Captured Live or not. I don't know if they were misplaced. I don't know if they were stolen. Maybe they did make it back to Captured Live and something happened to them a couple years later. I don't know. But then that brings me to the next thing here, where in 2014, I was able to get in touch with Camara's old manager, and they were able to get some pictures of the guitars that Captured Live have. They got in touch with Captured Live and requested some pictures of the guitars we had stored there. And so what we see here is they sent a picture of 3 of my guitars, not 5. The first one here is a regular RA600. You can see the binding around the guitar there, and you can see that it has the bigger block letter logo. You can see that it has a jet black finish. Next, they showed Little Boy. I can see there he has the smaller cursive LTD logo. It's also a see-through finish. You can kind of see this. I mean, this isn't the greatest photograph, but you can see the back of the neck through the body piece right there. So that's not jet black, it's actually see-through. And it appears that this guitar does not have binding. And now that I have this guitar sitting next to me right now, I can tell you that this is the guitar we see here is sitting next to me right now, and this is Little Boy. And then finally, that's the M1000 there with that see-through black finish. That's also sitting next to me right now. And I used in a video a couple weeks ago that you may have seen. Missing Victims from 6 Feet Under. So at this point, I knew when I saw these photos that 2 of them were missing, and this is back again in 2014, so a couple years had passed from when I last saw the guitars until I got these pictures, and now a lot of time has passed, another 6 or 7 years till I got these guitars back. So again, there's an RA600 out there, which I never expect to see again, and there is Big Boy. Now, let's take a look at a video from 2009 when Camaro was over in Australia. A good guy named John from a guitar website and company called Guitar Noise, Noise with a Z, came out and did a rig rundown with me. And this video is up on YouTube, and I've just captured the screen a little bit here. And let's take a look at the video that he took. And unfortunately, I show off Little Boy a lot more than Big Boy, but there's something about Big Boy that we can see here that is a distinguishing feature. And it's funny to just hear what I talk about, because it's exactly what I talked about 10 years later in Everything You Love 20. Let's listen in, and I will commentate. Service. Guitars here. These 2 guitars. These are my RA600 series DSP, but these particular 2 right here were actually prototypes. There are 3 of them. I still have one in my house, and they're the first 3 prototypes when we were developing the 600s. You know, like the first batch that I get, or the first one I got, maybe I don't remember exactly, but like it was missing the binding or something. So So I'm holding Big Boy right there. You can see the large block letter LTD. And I believe another distinguishing feature, which we'll talk about more in a second here, is that my signature is actually larger on Big Boy than it ended up being on the other prototypes or the actual 600 models that were manufactured. Then I get another one. So they're like, okay, they make the changes. These aren't the particular orders that they came in, but like this one came and like I didn't like the LTD logo. So there's a little boy, obviously a different LTD logo there. And you can see my signature is smaller and a little further up on the headstock. So maybe this was the first one, and then this, and then I got another. Somebody's tired there. You hear that? Then I got another one where it was like a see-through finish, like this is, but I wanted no binding and see-through finish on the prototypes. I wanted a jet black finish, and so the final RA600s have the binding, jet black finish, the block letter logo, and but I currently don't have any of those with me. These prototypes are my 2 Europe C guitars, and I also have 2 Europe B guitars over here, but on this tour we're not doing any B songs, so I don't have those with me. But yeah, these things are anybody that's interested. They play like a dream. Yeah, I went with the natural satin on there, and I know you guys can't feel this through the camera, but John, take a feel on that and tell me what you think. Super fast, ebony fretboard, just the combination I like. The 181 in the bridge position. A lot of people are always like, how can you not have a neck pickup? How can you not have a neck pickup? Well, I never find a need for one, so there you go. You know, Floyd Rose, can't live without it. But great guitars. Thank ESP for all these, man. And currently not running a wireless over here. We just decided we kind of bare bones did because it was only like 8 shows over here. And but usually I use a PV, I think it's a PXU 1000, something like that. That controls the GSP 1101. You can see just. If you guys would like to see more from this rig rundown, I'll definitely link it below for you. You can hear more about the gear that I was using over in Australia and what I typically use and fly with, stuff like that. But anyways, let's go back and look at this headstock of Big Boy. Take a look at my signature there, which is just above the D in the LTD block letter logo there. It's bigger, and I remember that being one of the distinguishing features of one of the things that I wanted changed, as minuscule as that sounds or whatever. But when you're making these changes for your your signature guitar and you want everything to be just the way it is, I thought that it was like kind of like big, and I just wanted a little smaller and moved a little bit. So on the production models and the prototypes that followed, you'll see that it's smaller, and so that is a distinguishing feature here. As we look between the 2 photos of how the signature ended up in this one, you can kind of see by that second tuning knob there where it's placed that it's in a different spot. So that right there is a big distinguishing feature for me there, and something that you guys can look for. So if you happen to see something that looks a little bit different, something that's a little bit different about this, about an RA600 that your buddy's jamming, maybe it doesn't have binding, maybe it's a see-through finish, and you notice that signature is a little bit bigger there, you'll know that that's Big Boy, and that is the guy that I am looking for and would love to have back in my possession. So guys, that's what we got here. And again, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who's offered to help. And if you're thinking about helping now, that's fantastic. Like I said, the more eyes and ears we got on it, the better the chances are that one day I'll be reunited with this guy. Of course, you can hit me up on any of the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Rob Arnold World, at both there. Just send me a message if you know anything, you got any leads. Next I'm thinking about getting the FBI involved in this. No, just kidding. It's just something, like I said, I'd love for it to happen, and if not, really no big deal. So anyways, guys, I will see everybody on the next video, whatever it may be. Thanks for everybody's support, Patreon, here on YouTube, checking out my Rob Arnold World shirts, DVDs, Tone Crate stuff, all that. I got links in the description below for everything I got going on. I appreciate everybody. Cheers. Let's find this bad boy, okay? See you on the next one. I promise I'll make a video playing something sweet with it if we do. Later.